it, Sarah. All day. Hell yeah.
Arm wrestling's about to take place.
Yeah. Kind of find out, how did the High Hookers Club start? Is that your team, or is that a team that was existed out there already?
Well, so then there's the trans. So I was arm wrestling in Picton kind of whenever I was there, and I was bouncing around. It's kind of the early days of my military career. Then I got to Petawawa. Petawawa was quite a drive to Picton, really. But I was still in love with arm wrestling. There was very little arm wrestling in Petawawa. I was training for it in the gym, but every once in a while I'd sneak to Ottawa for a practice. Petawawa to Ottawa is only like an hour and a half drive.
Okay.
But eventually I got stationed. So by 2000, I was stationed in Ottawa. And there used to be a massive club in Ottawa that was run by a guy called Rick Blanchard. But by the time I was in Ottawa, that club had basically faded away. And we restarted it once I moved there. There was Eric Roussin. You might know Eric. He runs the
the history guy.
That's right. Yeah. Super smart guy. If you're arguing with Eric, you're wrong. That's what we always say.
No, he's like the encyclopedia when it comes to anything with history. That is the guy to go to. Yeah,
he's really good. He does a lot of grip now. But so Eric and I basically started, and a guy called Yves Clement. Sorry. Oh my God, my brain is so bad. It's Yves. I call him little man with the big hands. He had massive hands. Yvan Clement. So there was 3 of us for probably the first year. That was our club. Only 3. Then we had 4. Then we had 5. Then we had 6. And then the club just popped.
Yeah.
And then we had tons of people. But it took us probably like 3, 4, 5 years to get to a level where we had a lot of people. And that's where the Ottawa High Hookers originated. And we weren't sure. We were torn between 2 names. We were like, what are we going to call ourselves? It came down to Ottawa High Hookers, and I really like this one, but we didn't go with it, ABC. And ABC now stands for Always Be Climbing, but ABC originally was going to be Arm Wrestling Bank of Canada.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. But we went with the High Hookers.
What year was that made?
I think we came up with the name probably around 2004 or maybe 3. I'm not sure. It was a couple years after we had the club going. I remember sitting down in Eric's basement. We used to have practice at Eric's house for a while, and Jeff Slater was there, and a bunch of we talked about it for probably a good couple months before we decided on the name.
Now, how many people were a part of it when you came out with the name High Hookers?
It was still very small. Yeah.
Give me an idea, like 5 guys.
There was probably 10 or less of us.
Okay.
Yeah, we were small in numbers. Yeah, but we were super dedicated. And it was interesting, like at the beginning, we tried so many things to bring in people. But what we really found was the people who stayed, like the people who came, stayed, stuck around, became awesome at it. We didn't find any of those guys. They all found us. So, it's interesting. It's interesting. People, you kind of just need to be a light.
Yeah.
That people can find. You can't be going and dragging people into the party. Just make yourself be known and let people come to you.
I totally agree on that theory, 100%. So I want to know how many elite members these days would you consider are part of the High Hookers?
Well, we have made a lot over the years. And we've had a bunch of resets. I'd say, you know, Eric certainly has won a lot. Now we've had a lot of splinter groups as well. Like a lot of guys have come to us and then they've splintered off and formed their own groups. I feel like we're responsible to some part for the club in Pembroke, guys like Evan Bergone, Brendan Levin Mulvihill, that whole club, kind of a lot of them originated here. We gave them like their first year or so, and then they started their own thing. A lot of guys like Grippler, he's been a force for a long time. The modern era, like the club now looks very different right now. And I don't think that this is unique to our club. I see it everywhere I go. We have massive numbers of guys 2 years and less, like 2.5 years in to 0. Tons of them. That's most of our club. Probably one of our strongest dudes at the moment in the high hookers is Pork Chop.
Okay.
Yeah, he's he is a strong dude. He is a very, very strong young man. Yeah, we've had a lot of guys over the years come and go. Yeah.
I know one of your members, he's actually just got a big opportunity coming up February 12th. You mentioned his name, Evan Bergone. He's going to be pulling against SchoolBoy. So I also wanted to kind of get your predictions on that, since you get to pull with Evan all the time.
Well, I think you have to look at Evan as the underdog. You have to. Evan is, from a technical perspective, and like a fight IQ, maxed out. He's really good. He's really very, very good. He's his instincts, his fighting mind, it's very strong. I think those are his real strengths. Evan's a funny guy. He lives his life the way he wants, and I think that's a great thing to do.
I love his character. He definitely he'll say
that's
anything.
Really not a character. That's him all the time. I tell you, you go up, you train in Pembroke, it's a madhouse. It is a madhouse. I tell you, I go to a lot of clubs. That is probably the craziest clubhouse that there is for arm wrestling. They train in a little shack up in Pembroke, and you walk into that thing. I hope you're 18. I hope you are. And it's
like a pack of wolves over there. I've seen a couple of their live practices and all. They're like a pack of wolves, but they look like a serious force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, they are. The love of arm wrestling is strong up there. I think that Evan technically is the leader in the match, but SchoolBoy is absolutely a prodigy. He's big, he's fast, he's strong, and I don't want to say anything bad about his technique either. I just know that in terms of mileage and how many fights he's gotten into, Evan is ahead of him. Evan has the experience. Evan is like a level 15 wizard, and SchoolBoy's maybe a level 10. It just so happens that SchoolBoy has got an 18 strength and a higher constitution. So it's gonna be SchoolBoy is gotta be favored. He's gotta be favored.
Now, what would you consider the comparison in the way they train? Because I really don't know too much about Evan's training, other than, like you said, he's a ninja on the table. But how is he as far as getting in, putting in the work and all?
So I'll say that, like, when you look at the arm wrestling culture that surrounds the high hookers, And I'd say probably a lot of the arm wrestling community here in Canada is we've got a heavy reliance on table time. And he's like the furthest on the spectrum you can find, really. And what I mean by that is, like, he does.
Hold on. I lost you for a second. I see you, but I don't hear you anymore.
I've got to go get my charger. My phone is about to die. I got Michael Todd calling me through as well here. I just got to get my charger.
Wow. Yeah, actually, it was just right before our interview. I was on the phone with Monster Michael Todd.
Oh, yeah? What did he say? He say that he's going to beat me?
Yeah, he's coming to get you. He's training, brother. He hasn't stopped since Dubai, bro. He's on a mission, my man.
I know he is. I know. It's pretty awesome. I think he's looking good. I think he's going to mess up Gennady big time.
Yeah, I mean, he looks like, what is he, like 290 with abs right now?
Yeah, I thought I even saw him saying the magical 300 pounds. I wasn't sure. But, yeah, getting back to the way guys train, and Evan, Evan's a table time guy. Evan arm wrestles. Evan arm wrestles probably just about every day.
Wow.
Just about every day, or, as much as you really actually humanly can. And, sometimes the only thing that'll surprise you about Evan is he might think that he's irresponsible when he arm wrestles, but he's not. Like, he absolutely has fun with it and screws around and definitely makes it interesting at practice. But most of his time is really calculated, really controlled, good pressures, the right intensity, making sure people don't get hurt. So he's very specialized. His strength, he doesn't lift a weight. I think he actually might have started to do a little bit, but probably not.